Today on Dirt Road CRED, we're going to add a custom leather interior to our 2025 Jeep Wrangler Sport and completely transform the inside of this Jeep. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. First of all, we're not in our original studio. We're down here at KMG Detailing, and Kevin's just about wrapping up the Jeep, and I said, can I come in and start ripping apart these seats? So what we've got the passenger seat laid out here on the table, and we're going to be swapping out all of the upholstery on here from cloth to a full custom leather seats, front and rear. Now on the Jeep, we've pretty much dialed in the whole exterior of it, right? We've got the decals, the custom bumpers, all of the heritage going on out there. And then you look at the inside and it just was not adding up. Originally, these Jeeps in 1941 would have been an olive drab or like a lighter tan canvas, and it wouldn't have been a gray cloth like you see here. Now, while we're not going for a complete original canvas olive drab inside, we've got some absolutely custom leather upholstery seats for this that are going to look incredible on here. What I want to do is I want to show you kind of how to get this ripped apart. This isn't going to be a step-by-step, and I do want to say this right in the beginning. This should be done by a professional installer. We're just two dudes that know what we're doing, so we're going to rip this apart and show you maybe some of the hopefully no problems that we run into, but we're going to be doing this on a 25. There's not much content out there, and we want to completely transform this seat into a custom seat. Yeah, guys, so you're going to be diving in pretty deep. This isn't seat covers, this is actually all new upholstery, so we've actually got to remove quite a bit of the factory pieces. And first step is kind of getting all these trim pieces off. The one thing I will note is, like I said, leave this to a professional. We're just two dudes in a garage doing it because there are airbags in the front seats. And really get down into this thing, it's kind of crazy to see the inner workings of it and pull all of the cloth off. That's one thing I'm concerned about, is this little pull here too, is how to get all that off. Kind of an interesting way to do it, but I don't know, we like to learn new things here, and I think there's only one way to learn, and that's just to get in and to do it. So we have some channels down here. And we did buy a steam gun because I read online that a steam gun is a good idea for stuff like this, but a lot of Phillips head screws, a lot of stuff to pull off. I just want to see what's behind here. I don't think it's, yeah, it's just like channels and stuff. Oh, look, our foam's already cracked. That's cool. Shouldn't be.
Nice.
That shouldn't be there, but there's an airbag right there too. Great. All right, I think we're ready. We're gonna disconnect the seat, the upper seat frame. Pulling hog rings off here, that's what attaches the actual upholstery through what's called listing rods. You gotta be careful with these because you don't wanna rip up the foam underneath, but they can be a little bit tricky to come out. So these actually clamp together and it holds right. And if you look right here, there's a good, so this is called a listing rod. The hog ring goes around this, and then there's a rod in the seat right here. So it kind of like clamps them two together. We got new hog rings, so you want to go through and pull all these off. They almost like want to twist off. Like they don't really like rip out too nicely, but it seems like the best way is still through a pair of snips, and then to just kind of to yank them off like so. So there's the listing rod underneath there. You just don't want to cut that. We're going to go around and rip all these off, and we're just, it's almost like peeling like an onion kind of. And there's the airbag. So airbag's in there. We're gonna try and get all of the hog rings off, and then we'll deal with that off camera, because that's why you have a professional do it, right, Ryan?
Yes.
So you don't have to touch the airbags. Take these out. This will be the last. If anyone's ever done upholstery, you know these are some of the most fun to fit it over. Yeah, they're hard, but they got to come off. That part I am really curious about. The so on a two-door, this, like, I don't know if it'll pull off around it. It's only 18 ways to find out. It seems like that separated. Okay, maybe it does separate. Maybe this. Cool, it does. The cool thing is once you're done with this, I think that I'm gonna cut a slit right here and wear this as a fashionable jacket. So this is the upper half removed. You can see a lot going on in the back. There's Velcro, all sorts of goodies. Check this out. So these are the listing rods that we're talking about on there. That's actually what gets pinched along there. Let's see when this was built. Piston Interiors LLC. So if you want to know who makes factory stuff, Piston Interiors LLC. I never knew that. Well, the cat's out of the bag. Literally, Katzkin is the upholstery company for today. Now, what's cool about this is that this is kind of like the start of a relationship. So we are going to be working with Katzkin and with Jeep Performance Parts, and they are launching a website where you can build out seats just like this, but you can add so much customization. The cool thing about Katzkin is that they're officially Mopar licensed, and this is a Jeep Performance part. Now, I know that's okay, cool, it's got 2 brands to it. You can utilize factory logos, factory lettering, Rubicon 392, High Tide, Jeep Beach, Rubicon. You can get all of that stitched on. It's the proper font and all of that stuff. But I think that's enough talking, because their designer there at Katzkin, which I gotta be really careful. I don't know, I don't think using a knife right into this is a great idea. But they designed these seats specifically for our 41 build. We had a couple options, and I don't know, I think this is the first time I'm seeing it. I think this is gonna be, dude, are you joking me? That's the color we went with. Pearl stitch, and I'm gonna have to find the color. Ryan, we'll leave it down below in the comments, or maybe you can pop it up on screen. Amaretto. Amaretto is the color, and this is a perforated US flag in this as well. So check this out. American flag, stars, and stripes perforated into this. It was hard because I didn't want to do olive drab. Like, I thought olive drab might clash with the other colors outside. A dark brown leather was a lot of the same as like the holsters and other leather belts and straps that were worn during World War II. And I felt like this was a close match. It's a subtle way to tie it in, but we were also thinking like baseball mitt leather. Like something when this gets broken in, it's gonna look worn. It's gonna get that baseball mitt feel. And then the pearl stitching on here, this, if you look at it, is actually like pearl white stitching. I think this just gives a little bit of pop, ties in the white from the outside of the Jeep. All right, so we got some hog ring pliers here. I overnighted these. These are actually neat because they have spring tension in, so it holds the hog ring for you. So brand new hog rings here. This will just kind of sit in here like so, and I'll show you an example of what happens. Just squeeze them, and it closes like that. And then that's what a good hog ring looks like, and that's what will be underneath here. We've got a box of 500 of them, and we only need probably about 50, so we should be okay. This gets interesting. This is where it gets fun. I'm going to start with this back line right here, go to the center line, and then do both sides. Now you just kind of work this and start having fun, because this is going to be fun. This is where the paid professional part is like awesome, but also, I don't know, there's kind of like a pride of being able to do it yourself, but I don't know if you're supposed to, really. You're also trying to be careful because you don't want to puncture through the seat itself. Okay, so the back's on. Still got some play, and what I think I'm gonna do, this could come back to bite me, but I think I'm gonna do this middle section right here. A little bit of tension there. Maybe I have to, once I pull this, it should tighten up a little bit. Since we have sport, we can unzip the back. Kind of interesting. So we're gonna lay this, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the airbag in, kind of slide it in, bolt that back into place, then kind of start working on this side. But this is the correct side because it's got the cutout over here for the 2-door release latch, which is attached to all these. Make sure these are pressed in, because there was like a little bit of like a Velcro section right here. That's gonna look so good on this. This strap goes around something, and that strap goes around something. I just don't recall what it went around. Which way did this sit? Like that, okay. That looked factory. Woo! Welcome to the Dirt Road Upholstery Incorporated. All we gotta do is put these side pieces on, and then repeat the same process on the other side, and then also do the rear. And that's it. It's really simple. All right, well, we got the passenger side just about wrapped up. I would give it this took about 3 hours to get this done. And from everywhere I saw online, that's probably about the length of time it takes for the first seat, just to make sure everything goes on perfect. You just have to be super careful. If you're doing this kind of stuff, like, it does take a level of precision that I don't know. It's not like insane, but putting everything back needs to be on there perfectly. What do you guys think? Let me know about the low back, because a lot of the concept vehicles actually don't put a headrest back there. You can see we have ours. We stripped off the factory components on it, and they're actually sending us some Jeep Performance Parts emblems that are embroidered into them, so we couldn't put the standard one on. But we might just leave it like this for Daytona. I kind of like the low back seat, and I think it fits the build a little bit better. But I'm going to pick this thing up. We're going to put all 4 of the Torx bolts back into the floor. Then we're going to tackle the driver's side off camera, and then maybe we'll see how bad the rear one is. I'm nervous about it, but we'll see. There's only one way to do it, and that's to do it. So if you guys are doing a 2-door seat, this is how it is. Check this out. This little plastic piece you have to pull off on the sides. Maybe I didn't need to take that plastic cover off, but I actually probably still did. Okay. Okay. All right. Not so bad so far, Ryan. This has got it. I mean, I know it's hog ringed. Yeah. What? It's Velcroed there? Is it hog ringed here? No, it's hog ringed in the middle. Dang it. I thought it was all Velcro. I was gonna be like, we just hit the frickin'. One seatbelt at a time.
It's not that bad.
No. It's really not that bad getting any of them off. It's just remembering how they went back on.
So we'll have to send it through first.
Yeah, these back here. This listing rod in the back. Let's just say that's not easy to get to. This back here. But maybe we'll start with it. Yeah, we'll send it through first. Yeah, guys, this is the first time I've ever ripped apart the back of a 2-door. The backside doesn't come off too bad. I'm kind of curious to see how this all starts to pull off around all the other goodies around here. Like all your, you know, you have the release here. Then up front, of course, I'm sure we have some hog rings. And there's like seat tethers. I think that's just to notify where the tethers are. I don't know. This is all, it's all freshly new to me. Oh, that's like, there's push pins right there. See, there was one. Oh, there's another one right there. I didn't get it. There's one. Oh, right there. Oh, that's really weird. So that's what it looks like without a headrest on. You have to get this off with 2 of these very awkward clips. This slides on like this maybe? Here. And then clips go on. It's really weird. Really interesting setup. But that's what it looks like with them off. Took us a minute. Now we're gonna put the lower section on. I'm gonna get all these hog rings on the lower part, get the seatbelt through, tuck it around, and do the top part. Whew. They look good. It's a lot of work. Yeah, we gotta, so it's a little bit loose around here. We gotta get some of, this is Velcro actually underneath here and those rods that go in. So it's just about aligning those and kind of getting them in once you're done. So that's one thing we did forget. So we're gonna get those all pushed in. And then I'm sure in the sun, that leather will stretch out and really fit in nice, but it's looking like a brand new Jeep in here already. That looks awesome. Gotta get the new headrests on to the tops, and then we'll get them clipped back into there. So, all right, well, let's throw it in, guys, and we'll show you what the entire Jeep looks like. Now, before we show you the final reveal of these seats, today on this here of the video, we wanted to actually acknowledge Ryan's family member. So Ryan's stepdad's parents both served in World War II, and I've got a brief history of them here as well as a really cool decal that we're gonna install. So Ryan's stepdad's mom, June, started active duty in January of 1944 and served in general and field hospitals overseas as part of the Army Nurse Corps. She received following citations including European Theater Ribbon, World War II Occupation Medal, and the World War II Victory Medal, and was discharged in November of 1947 with the rank of captain. It was extremely rare. My grandma was in the military, but it was very rare for women to be in, so that was amazing that she was able to go over there and help out with the victory and all of our service members. And then his dad, John, was activated in March of 1943 as part of the 366th Medical Battalion. Very fitting with this Jeep because we have Med 4 on this side. Part of the 66th Infantry Division and was involved in the Northern France campaign and ultimately the Battle of the Bulge, which occurred in Belgium. He received the following citations: a Good Conduct Medal, American Theater Ribbon, and the World War II Victory Medal. And he was later part of the headquarters of U.S. forces in Austria, where he spent a year during the occupation of Germany. He left the military in 1946 with the rank of corporal, and Tom's mom was also in Austria at the same time, and that's where they met. They were married in Fort Sam, Houston, Texas, which is really cool. Texas is a huge military state. So, Tom, thank you to you and your family, and to you, Ryan. And with this, we've got an interior decal, and this is the 66th Division U.S. Army, but you actually can tell this is a interior decal, so it's very fitting for today's video because we're doing an interior mod. Ryan, you said this was actually from a reunion years and years ago. So, like, this is an old decal. How fitting. That's super cool. And the Panther on there, that's, like, straight World War II. So, I think we're going to put it right on the inside of the windshield there by the little Willis Jeep in there. So, let's put this on. I'm kind of nervous because it's an old decal, but it should go on cool. So, let's throw that on and then show you the seats. All right, well, we have just wrapped up a successful first time for the JL, an interior leather upholstery kit. Now, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Jeep Performance Parts as well as Katzkin. Katzkin did provide this kit free of charge, and we wanted to give them a huge thank you because we just worked with their designers and felt that this design worked perfectly on the inside of this Jeep. Now, we did these ourselves. I will tell you there was a lot off camera that we didn't show on camera. There was some points where Ryan was pulling bolsters of the foam down, stretching it together. Heck, even Kevin was over. We were pulling the zippers together to get them on the side pieces. This is a pretty involved job, and there was a lot of cutting, and if you cringe at cutting brand new parts or using a blade to brand new parts, probably don't do this. Katzkin has a wide variety of installers in your area, no matter where you live, so you basically can go on, build these seats out, have them shipped to an installer, and get them done. And I think the average cost is probably, I don't even know, maybe $800 to $1,000, but this was 8 to 10 hours of work. So depends on how confident you are doing it. We are extremely pleased with how they turned out, though. I think the color, we were looking for that baseball glove leather, so that kind of color, and then baseball gloves always back in the day had white stitching on them. That's exactly what we got with these, and boy, are they comfortable too. I don't know, let us know in the comments, did we pick the right color? I think you guys are going to agree that this is probably the right color. And did you guys notice the little American flag in that center inset? I think that is so cool, and it just perfectly fits what we are trying to achieve with this build. This thing is closer and closer to the 41 build that Jeep should have done from the factory, and we're just super excited. We've got a few other things. We are currently like 1 week away from leaving for Jeep Beach. We will have some awesome products with us for sale, a brand new product as well. So if you guys are going to be down at Jeep Beach, we will have a meet and greet. We'll have it all posted up, and we'll be down there for the full week. So we love to see you guys there, and then for you to be able to check this Jeep out as well as our Jeeps in person. Now, if you guys are interested, like I said, the website will be up soon. I believe they're just finalizing it, but you can check out Katzkin Leather as well as Jeep Performance Parts to see any of the seat ideas that you'd like for your Jeep. And just remember, they're building them for all makes and models. This is a 2025 Jeep Wrangler 2-door, and they've already got it set up and ready to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. A huge shout out to Kevin at KMG Detailing here in Lebanon for letting us use his shop. And if you haven't noticed, this thing also got a fresh ceramic coat while it was in here. That's going to help protect it for all of the adventures we go on and how far we take this thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a comment down below. And until next time, my name's Matt, Ryan's behind the camera, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.